Hello students, so I am presenting to you the explanation of the poem Daffodils. We begin with the first stanza. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. So from the very beginning we can see that this poem has been written in first person. That means the narrator or the speaker of the poem has directly addressed the readers or listeners with his experience. It is he, the speaker, who was wandering lonely as a cloud. That means moving here and there aimlessly, just like we can see a cloud floating in the sky. We don't know where it is going. Even the cloud doesn't know where it is supposed to go because it floats in the direction in which the wind pushes it. So the speaker or the poet was wandering or moving around lonely as a cloud. Now he is lonely because as I have already told you in the introduction, the poet William Wordsworth was facing an emotional loss, a personal loss of a loved one, and that is what had made him feel lonely. So his sister had brought him out for a walk in nature to uplift his mood, and that is when William Wordsworth writes that he was wandering lonely as a cloud. Now these words, lonely as a cloud, they are an example of simile. Then moving on to the second line, that floats on high over vales and hills. Vales means valleys. Now just like a cloud floats over the high hills and the low valleys, similarly he was also moving around here and there in nature, not knowing what to do. At that moment he had not established any connection with nature. He was simply there, feeling lonely, disconnected and sad. Now the second line, that floats on high over vales and hills, this is an example of visual imagery, because the moment we read this line, an image is created in our mind, so we can visualize a cloud floating over the hills and valleys. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. And the third and fourth line is saying that he was wandering here and there, moving around, not knowing what to do, and suddenly he saw beautiful yellow flowers, which are the daffodils. Now instead of calling them yellow, he calls them golden. The specifically he has mentioned the word golden because it was morning time, and because these flowers are yellow, the sunlight falling on it was making them look like golden flowers. And now I'd like to add that daffodils are not any specific variety of flowers that one would grow them in their gardens. These are wild flowers that you would find growing wildly in nature, anywhere among the grass. But here the poet emphasizes that even these simple things, even the wildest of flowers which haven't been taken care by any gardener, even those flowers can uplift our moods because of their cheerfulness or their bright color. So he saw a crowd of golden daffodils. That means a group of flowers growing together, and he saw them and he felt, or he was attracted to them. Now another word here, crowd. This is personification because usually we use the word crowd for people. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So where did he find these daffodils? He found them growing beside the lake, and there were trees beside the lake. So under the trees exactly is the place where he saw these daffodils growing. And what were the flowers doing? They were fluttering and dancing in the breeze. That means because the stalk of the flowers is long, so with the slightest of the breeze, with the slightest of the wind, the flowers were swaying or moving. And that is what William Wordsworth has described as the dancing. He felt as if the flowers are happy and they are dancing with the wind.